We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
Hello everyone, welcome on in. We have breaking news just dropping a little bit ago from the Wall Street Journal. They have dropped another bombshell report that Donald Trump, the current president of the United States, he is indeed involved. He is indeed listed in the Epstein Files. His own Attorney General Pam Bondi confirming, even in her report, Donald Trump is in the Epstein Files. It's finally confirmed. As we have all known, as we have thought for a while now, we have believed for years that he is involved in the Epstein Files. This is why he has accused Democrats for years of being in there, accusing them of covering it up. Usually, people like Donald Trump, they love to accuse people of what they themselves are guilty of to distract. This has been a common playbook move of Donald Trump for years. He learned it from his former lawyer, Roy Cohn. So let's dive into what we've got here. So, the Wall Street Journal has dropped an article earlier today confirming that in May, Bondi and her deputy informed President Trump at a meeting in the White House that his name was in the Epstein Files, the official said. Many other high-profile figures were also named, Trump was told. Being mentioned in the records isn't a sign of wrongdoing. Which, of course, shines a very, very damning light on a comment Donald Trump made in an interview just last week. Roll the clip.
The Attorney General briefed you on the DOJ and FBI's review, the findings of that review. The Attorney General briefed you on that.
What?
On the DOJ and FBI review.
What subject?
Epstein, of the review of the files. Attorney General Pam Bondi briefed you on that.
Very quick brief.
Did she tell you, what did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the files?
She's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen. And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release, yeah.
Notice how, again, he barrels through that interview trying to distract you by claiming it's the Obamas or Comey and all these other people created these files. It's all hoax. Distract, trying to distract you from the fact that he is on that list. And remember, this interview was just last week, mid-July. He knows full well he is on this list because his AG told him 2 months ago that he was on that list. This has all been a collective effort by Donald Trump and his administration to find as many people as they can, especially the MAGA influencers out there, many of which I have talked about on my channel here in some previous videos over the past week. Some other videos I have about the whole Jeffrey Epstein and Trump scandal. Trump has found many of these influencers, several of which took pictures of the Epstein Files back in February. He has found these people to lie on his behalf and do a complete 180 over these past few weeks on their efforts with the try and release and now hide the Jeffrey Epstein Files. The article goes on to also state FBI Director Kash Patel has privately told other government officials that Donald Trump's name appeared in the files according to people close to the administration. Patel declined to answer an inquiry from the Journal about the Epstein case, but said in a statement that the memo on the Justice Department's website explaining why the department wouldn't release the Epstein documents was, and I quote, consistent with the thorough review conducted by the FBI and DOJ, end quote. Meaning that Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino have known for months that Donald Trump's name is in the files, but they have made it a collective effort to conceal this from the public and not tell us about it, by instead engaging in distraction tactics to divert your attention somewhere else. Such as this week, trying to get a federal judge to unseal the grand jury testimony of the Epstein trials, which they know full well judges don't have the legal authority to unseal these documents. Pam Bondi literally went from saying, I have the files on my desk ready to go, to suddenly saying, oh, case closed, there's nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Why? Because Donald Trump is in the files and she's doing everything she can to cover for him.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
The video showing definitively, the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
That's it, huh? Case closed, as she says, huh? Whatever. Bullshit on that one. And I love how when she takes that little thing about how, a 1 minute's supposed to be missing every night. I love how, if you noticed in that clip back there, Donald Trump had that little look over there where he looked at Pam Bondi when she says that. Kind of like he's saying like, oh yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to use that one from now on. That's a nice little white lie to tell there, Pam. Pam Bondi knows that her boss is implicated in very, very inappropriate activity, and she is using her position of power to prevent anyone in the administration, anyone out there, to use any transparency whatsoever on this topic. What do you call that? I'm pretty sure there's a word for that, or a phrase. Ah, yes, I'm pretty sure that's called a cover-up. Google AI, what's a cover-up? Thank you. And this comes after it came out that over 3 minutes of video were cut out from the prison surveillance cameras after this administration got a hold of them and edited them out. For a administration that goes on and on about how they're the most transparent administration in the history of administrations, they sure aren't being very transparent with the American public. They think the American public are some of the stupidest people on the planet. Well, I could definitely agree with that assessment when it comes to the MAGA voters. They definitely are stupid. And there seems to be a few of them out there that are starting to finally, the light bulbs turning on, the rusty gears are starting to turn a little bit. But a lot of them still haven't flipped on that light switch. But the rest of us sane Americans, we see right through the transparency and we know they're full of bullshit. This is one of the most corrupt administrations we have ever had, led by the most corrupt president we have ever had. Donald Trump makes Ronald Reagan look like a kitten, and it's embarrassing. It really is. And we all thought that George W. Bush was the dumbest president. Again, Trump makes him look like he aced every single exam at an Ivy League school. And Bush didn't do anything close to that. But that's how bad this administration is. It's just a complete and utter joke. This administration is doing everything they can to make sure you forget Jeffrey Epstein, you forget Donald Trump being friends with him. Don't let them. Do not give them that power. How do you do that? Simple. Like and subscribe to my channel. Like and subscribe other channels that are exposing the right-wing hypocrisy, the MAGA hypocrisy with how they're covering Epstein. Don't let these guys just brush off Epstein. Stay on it and keep their feet to the fire. With that said, have a great day.